So, Internet of Things is very simple. It is connected with the devices, it is connected with intellectuals, it is connected with the process of analytical processing, it is connected to the process of next level, just not connecting the device. Then it is not Internet of Things. So my friends, I want you to be very clear with what is Internet of Things. It is not just connecting it devices. It is connecting, after collecting, making intelligence by analyzing through the data, after analyzing their data and giving that in a new perspective way for the human system. So finally, it has to connect to the humans. It is not only connect only with the ecosystem, is connecting only the internet and devices. Then why you are living in this earth? Then the devices can live, internet can live. End of the day, the IOT is only for human beings. So, to be rightly to sense, the good example, what I have said right now is Google Traffics. Right? So if you see Google Traffics is one of the examples. I have certain examples which I can show you that how internet is working. So these are some of the websites. So best example for IoT, like we could say, if you see here, this is a new way of technology in future. You might have seen all these websites in your day-to-day life. I just want to add that these are the best example for IoT and data analyticals and all these things. If you see this Windy TV, where you can see the every minute, every second, what is the temperature, rainfall, cloud effects, and all these things. And there is another good website like FlightRadar24.com. This will show you the present the scenario of the flight, where it is. For example, we can take any one of the flight here. Say for example, I'll take this flight. I'll just take this flight. The flight which is running from Manila, the flight which is running from Manila to Daman. So you can see the entire scenario. This flight radar will show you the schedule and longitude and the speed and the level of disk that is flying. So this is, if you ask me, sir, it is real. You can also check in your mobile right now. If you go and log into this website, you can see the perfect timings and all these things. It means every moment, the data are collected, it is processed, it is analyzed, and it is given in pictorial format, it is given in intellectual format in this Windy FlightRadar.com. This is one of the best example again. And there is another good example for this. This one is done by our ISRO people, Radio Green. Maybe you might have heard. So this is live radio stations that runs in right now. You can play not only for here, you can play for entire globe. If you just swing this, maybe the signal is not good. All this green signal says the radio stations. It's okay, maybe I'll just switch to. So all this green signal is about the radio stations in the entire world. So if you see here, this website 24/7, 365 days, it gets a radio signal, it interrupts and it gives it in a very nice way. That again, for IoT, Internet of Things, it connects all the devices, all the radio stations, and giving that in one particular website, or it is an app, and it is also processed. It continuously is processed, and it is giving an on-stream data. So this is another one small example for IoT. So if you see, you can. So this will be the future websites, all IoT kind of websites. IoT kind of stuff websites. There is no more like having a static data and having a small SQL data. So already we have moved to the Hadoop environment, NoSQL and Cassandra, and having a larger data of storage. So we have a capacity to have the huge amount of data to get it. So it is all up to us to how to manipulate all these things. And I'm going to show you a very live example to take a current room temperature and we'll do a small analysis. So right now it is running actually, the program is running there. I've written a program, we'll do live this particular moment. So it means IoT it is very simple, It's very cognitively you can understand. IoT is connecting the devices and making intellectual, analyzing it, and bringing in a new perspective to the human values. That is we call IoT. So don't put it, IoT is just connecting the devices to internet. No. If you say like that, then the devices in internet will be there, and human being will be living in Jupiter or Mars. No, we should live in Earth, but we should live in Earth in a very sophisticated way, in a very grander manner, or it should be in an intellectual and cognitive manner. So for that only, these are the technologies supporting us to do, and where we are talking about. Okay, so I think you're clear with this. What is IoT? Yes. Okay. So I just want to go the growth of IoT that we look in India or in entire world. So like as small statistics. From 1990, it was just started with 0.3 billion, just we connected only few computers. Initially it was computers, later we have connected some devices, like say for example where some GPS we got it and we connected few things. Later we got mobile inbuilt GPS. Then right now we expect that in 2025, 1.0 trillion devices that will connect with the it means that devices will connected, just not connecting. It is connected with the cognitive way. It is intellectual way, in terms of analytical way. It is not just like connecting the devices. Okay, so that is what we expect. So this small graph could be shows that the growth that we can see that in IoT and its field. And the same in India, we expect the government of India through Make in India. It has been promoted or it has been realized that $15 million process of business is going to be happening in India. So there's a huge expectation for the field of IoT, and we expect that India will come with more and more. Like actually, what is less actually here, the expected market could be sizable in more and more. Right, so it's what we put here, and it's a very small survey here. 60% of the world of GDP will be across to the smart cities. So already India has chosen 100 smart cities. So these smart cities will give I think a lot of people who sits here get a lot of employability through this actually. Actually the plan that goes into that we will be having 100 smart cities. But in our entire world, as per the McKinsey's survey, they say it is that there will be 60% of the GDP will depends upon the smart cities that are across the world, not only in India. So a small ecosystem which I was just talking right now. So we now have all the devices and the platforms are like operating system, and we now have one side of users, the government and enterprise. So it's a combined one. So it will have an entire process. We will be combining with right from the platform to consumer, the consumer to the government and enterprise. It's combined together. We'll have a new ecosystem that is IoT. Just now we have talked about. So the applications that we expect, or I think you people could be knowing much better, and you might be using this day-to-day life also, like home appliance or like for agriculture, for industry, and all these things. So it's again for industrial internet. So I just want to stop here and want to explain what is the industrial internet of things. It is not normal internet of things. If you see here, IoT is done with two levels. One is a consumer level IoT adaptation and commercial level IoT adaptations. So if you see consumer level is normal users are that uses the internet of things. But a commercial level is different perspective. That is to the industrial level. I'll tell you a small example, probably to get it rightly. It is there in US. If you see, compared to India, and US has got more and more. They call onboard diagnostic vehicles. These onboard diagnostic vehicles, say for example, let us take an example. I am going to book a truck in US. Okay, it means truck is to move some goods to one place to another place, or we are going to appoint him, or we are going to give a loan or something like that for a truck driver or for trucks for the particular company. So they see the quality of the drivers that the company has got. They see the quality of the drivers by seeing the quality of vehicle maintenance. They see the quality of vehicle maintenance by how the vehicles are being maintained for the past 5 years or 6 years. So every vehicle has got one small device. It is called onboard diagnosing system. This will be plugged in the vehicle. So this will record the speed. It will record their the way they maintain their vehicle for the past 5 years. Based on all this analyzing, they give a loan or something. They see whether we can accept or not. Let us take Ola and Uber. When I am booking Ola and Uber, the IOT is being used commercially. If the vehicle, if the driver is always speed, right now it is not there. We are done with rating. If driver is always in speed, if he is always got a rough driving, is not doing better, right? So what the customer will do? Customer automatically will reduce the ratings. Now, customer can give wrong ratings also. Yes, sir. Now, what I will do? I will have a diagnostic system in all Ola and Uber cars. Okay, with the respect of the drivers. If the driver is always consistent speed and it doesn't have any accident and any hitting and all, so you will have a good record. Based on the good record, the driver and the car will give a good ratings, or else it will go down. So this is more intellectual rating system. Right now what we are doing is, if you give money, you will give 5 star for me. If he is good, okay, he is coming on time, I give 5 star for him. Yes or no? You are doing this one. Do you think this is a better rating? No, this is not a better rating. Now, you can bring IoT concept there. That is what we do here. Industrial Internet of Things is bringing not only to the electronics and electrical device connecting, you connect to the engines, you connect to the wheels, you connect to the car. All these devices you connect together, and from that you analyze. From that analyzing, you give ratings to that particular driver. That will be a best one. Yes? Do you agree? Now, if I want to do a small analysis here, how many people are sleeping? Now, what I can do, I have an inbuilt IoT device to you people. If you are sleeping, so how can I understand? I can put an emotional understanding about your thoughts process. I can put a small device like a pen. I'll put it here. I can see in my tablet. Maybe I have a laptop here or a tablet. I can see. Okay, this is my emotional rating. These many people are sleeping. Is it good or bad? Now see, now after this example, I could see so many people are stood up actually. Yes or no? So this is my IoT device, mind IoT device. I want to take this mind into a device as a program. I want to put it in every brain as a thought process. You can understand better. Yes or no? Yes. That is we call emotional intelligence in terms of what do you say? Most intellectual emotional thinking, where you get your thoughts, understanding your thoughts makes you better understand. So in terms of data analytical, we call sentimental analysis, emotional analysis. So I can analyze your emotion, whether you are sleeping or you are negative mind or you are positive mind, or you are trusting me or not trusting me, your questions are wrong or you are thinking a different way. All these things I can get immediately. I can say, okay, this session is no more useful, I can just close it, I can go. I can make my time better and I can make your time better. Yes or no?
Yes sir.
Yes. So that is where the industrial IoT, I am just saying all this small, I am telling you this is not industrial IoT, but it's a personal one. But industrial IoT is something making robotical sense of intellectual process, not just making robots the plug and play. Make the robot to be a humanoid or a humanoid robotics. Not like normal robotics, thinking robotics or emotional robotics. So that is what that will be a major problem I would. Yesterday, a few days before, we can you can see it in a lot of industries started doing it. Kinds of manufacturing. Like I understand my customers. I have CRM software in all my outlets. I get feedbacks from my customer. Based on my customer feedbacks, based on that, my machine will start making productions. So if it is there, then that will be one of the new trend of manufacturing. But you can ask the question, is that human values will be going? Yes. The human interruptions in machine manufacturing could be down, but the machines can give a better solution than human beings. But that machines are manufactured by the human beings. So that is a different thing. That is a we have good role. Maybe we'll see in the later part of the PPT what are the skill set required for the IoT people. Okay. So a little more. I'll go a little faster. We'll finish it.
No. Continue.
We'll continue. I'll just go very fast and I'll show the demo and then.
Sir, is there any clear-cut demarcation line between earlier embedded system with IoT? Or both?
It is embedded system is done to the next level of data analytics. You transform the data. Embedded system it is only in the particular place. But from there data, you are transferring the data to the internet. Not only transferring the data to the internet, you make it to the intellectual to the data.
But actual intellectual quality has also been included in embedded system.
Yeah. No, it is not. It is like plug and play, on and off. You just do it. Yes, you will do it. Or else it will not do it.
After training, they used to take very intelligent decisions also.
Yeah. Now we are connecting all these things into the one particular place called IoT. So IoT, that is what I was talking here. It is an ecosystem where you create with all these things. In terms of again security is also there, which we have not talked there, but security is again is there. There are a lot of issues are going into.
So can we claim that it is part of computer science, not of basically electronics?
It is a part of electronics, computer science, and mechanical, electrical, electronics. It is a component of everything.
Every kind of device, whether it is mechanical or electronics or
Yeah, actually we in the last of the PPT I have the skill set of IoT. It is not by me. It is also done. So many people have done a research and they have done it into the one particular. Because IoT is not a subject, new subject. It is there, but it is an evolved subject. And over the period of time, it has evolved as IoT. Maybe in future it will be like intellectual IoT. More than that, it is not only Internet of Things. Maybe it is like an agent level, like it will do automatically. It will program automatically based on the situation, right? You see, GPS, Android is there. It is an embedded device. If it is there, it is only nothing is there. But it is the data is taken by the Google. They analyze. They give it in a new perspective like traffics. That is IoT. You just keeping that GPS in your mobile and it is not going to make any sense. Converting that into the new other way, that is new other ways, new perceptual way, that makes into a new concept called traffic signals. So like that we can make it into the other level. So that is we call blockchain concepts. You make it to the one, to the other level, next level. Right. So maybe I'll just go very fast so that I can go to the demo actually, which I can show you a little more faster as you are running out of time. Yes, please.
Sir, I'm getting confused with two other terms, Internet of People and Internet of Everything.
Internet of everything, if people are, it's combined with Internet of Things only. It is not different. Internet of People is just people are connected to Internet where you surf your Internet and that's all. Whether you see your website or you play a game or you just see a movie. So the people and Internet is connected or in terms of devices. But Internet of Everything is, it is not no more IoE, it is all IoT. This is the next level. Internet of everything, Internet of people or combined together or it has been gone to the next level. That next level we call it as the Internet of Things. It is not like the Internet of everything is same. It is like from Internet of everything we have moved to the next level we call IoT.
So that concept is only given by Cisco. Internet of everything is term
is given, yeah.
Cisco.
It's again like term only, friend, and you don't take too much hard into that. It is like I will tell you today IoT, tomorrow there will be another guy will come and tell intellect of IoT, agent IoT. The concept is same. You understand the concepts rightly and what actually you want to do and where you want to prospectively. That is more than enough. So you don't get confused with the terms. It is only like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Pepsi will say that is Pepsi. And Coca-Cola will say that same brown color water is Coca-Cola. The water is same. The content is not different. Right. So I'll just go with the IoT in agriculture. We use in agriculture with drone technology. A little run fast through and retails. So for retails, I'll tell you a small concept. I got this concept from a student actually. For example, you go to the retail shop. I will take some products. Once I take the product, the billing has to do automatically. based on detecting the barcodes, RFID does to detect. And when you go out of the shop, when you take all these things, you should get a printout, and or printout or something like. But you can swap the card and you can take all the controls. There is no counter. There is no counter waiting. Nobody will there to collect the money. You just take a bucket, you put all your content, and when you go out of the room, when you go out of the shop, you get automatically a billing, and you can pay through a card or you can pay your money, and you can get it. So it is like, I think already there is a lot of technologies are there, but still, you can see one small example which sparks in my mind, this small example what I was saying right now. So IoT in retail is there, and again, so I just want to move a little faster. Actually, healthcare is one of my, where I am doing writing PhD right now here. I'll tell you what right now I'm doing PhD here. I've started with this IoT and big data. Like taking a PDR, we call patient detailed report. PDR is something like, now every hospital has got their patient records, right? Sir? Yes. Now, every hospital has got different doctors where they do practice. For example, there is a patient, an ex-patient who comes with a diabetics patient. He is a non-alcoholic, and he has got some little problem in a leg or something like that. He are admitted in an hospital. The doctors are giving treatment. They found it is close to the renal failure. Okay, all these reports have been recorded. After recording all these reports, they give some treatment. So by the treatment, the patient is getting success. It means he is coming out of the renal failure. Okay. Now, same kind of patients somewhere around the world, non-alcoholic, diabetics, maybe reaching to renal failure, maybe they are given a wrong treatment. Because of that, he could be died. I've seen these two patients. First one is my father. Second one is yesterday, one of my colleague's husband was died because of this. But after yesterday evening, I was just talking with them. I came to know that this is the report. I was telling, actually it was this surprise. Jack, are you doctor or you are engineer? No, I said the same kind of experience happened in my own personal life. No, that is a big gap is there. The gap is, the technology is available, the doctors are available, the method of practicing, everybody has got a different kind of practicing. What my thought is, I want to bring all my practice in global on cloud environment, all the good and bad practice in one particular place. The system will analyze. Okay, once the patient is joining into the one, it will connect to all devices connected, it will connect to internet. It will connect to my cloud platform. It will see if this ECG, if this diabetics level, this is the patient record, then it will suggest some of the good practicing method to the doctor. Then doctor can, whether it is up to the doctor whether to treat or not. So it means I bring all the devices. These devices are just connected inside these rooms. We connect all these devices to internet, and that data will be taken to one cloud platform, and that cloud platform will analyze the data, then it will connect both. If both are matching, then it will say these are the good practices can be applied to that particular patient, to that particular situation by that tomorrow morning.